And let's see how it will look wet. This is such a turquoise with even blue. They are very soft. They stretch very, very well. Hello everyone, today I will have a fitting of my tights. But it will be an unusual fitting. Weather conditions test. Of course I will show you the tights. How they look dry. And then we will compare how they look wet. So I have 4 pairs. All such cool shades. These are green. There are some sea colors waves. And there are also dark green ones. And I'm the first. I've already tried these dark blue ones. And the first thing I want to say, I really like the materials of these tights. They are very pleasant to body. I really like how they sit on me. They are very soft. They stretch very, very well. That is, they can be stretched and put on any size. They also stretch here. But if we put them on very well, we'll stretch it. They'll be too transparent. Well, in principle, it's a very dense material. I like that there are no seams on the sides. But there is one seam, that's in the front. And also in the back. This one is also coming such a small seam. But in principle I like these tights. I would wear them in cool weather. For example with some nice skirt. Or some shorts too insulated. And heels and of course a coat. Well now, let's see how these tights will look. If I wet them. This is what it looks like wet. When I wet them of course it is very difficult to wet them, because it is quite dense material. And you can also pay attention to the fact that I left a special dry piece. So that you can show where is wet and where is dry. So this is what it looks like. I think water is dripping off me. And I couldn't get much wet in the back. Because I was uncomfortable. Firstly and secondly they are very bad got wet. So wet. You can pay attention that they really brought to my body. And became such wet. And it seems to me I am not very comfortable in the wet video. Also they changed color. These tights you can pay attention to. Here my leg is completely wet. They changed color and became darker. And look like black. So if you get wet in the rain, then I don't think even people will notice that you're wet. Because, in principle they'll think that you're just wearing black tights. But then again, so that the rain gets you wet. It would take a really heavy rain. Here? To get them wet. That's why I even think that in the rain. It will be very difficult to do. These are my first tights and I'm ready to move on to the next ones. And add the next ones, these will be green ones. Well guys, I tried on my second tights. They are dark green. I really like the color of these tights. And also, I really like the material. They fit my legs comfortably. I also like that they don't burn my body, that is, they fit perfectly. They also stretch very well. But you need to keep in mind that if you pull them, they will be transparent. You can look at, in the area of my hips, that I have a strong tension here. And they are slightly translucent, but I think it's okay. Because you will still wear some dress or skirt or something else on top. The same goes for us here, there are none on the side seams. Only front and back. Well now I'm ready to wet these tights. And let's see how it will look wet. Well guys, I tried on my second tights. More precisely, I made them wet and what is that sound? It's Buzzy who flew in. Go away from here, I'm scared of you. How cold he is. Guys, just subscribe, otherwise he won't fly away. So scary. Fly away. Thank you all for subscribing. I don't know came to me and asks you to subscribe. Well, like this. Here are our second wet tights. You can compare. By the way, here I am. I couldn't get them completely wet because they pee very poorly. For some reason here it became completely transparent. Transparent tights. That's when they got wet. And their color became more vivid. More precisely darker. So rich and looks like black. So if you get caught in the rain, I don't think your tights will get wet. Because you have to really wet them so that they get wet in. Basically, I'm not very comfortable in wet. Tights stick to my body. And that's why I don't really like, but they've become very stretchy. Well, I'm ready to move on to the next pair of tights. And let's try them on. We still have some left. Like these blue. Well guys, I tried on my third. These are such beautiful tights. Look at what a delicate color these tights are. This is such a turquoise with even blue. In general, I really like the color, and it seems to me that it will constantly change. And for example, if I pull on my tights, then it will be so pale turquoise. And if I won't be on, pull it so bright turquoise. Very beautiful. And I also like that these tights stretch very well. That is, you can pull them on, but you have to be very careful, because when stretched, they are very translucent. Well, now I'm ready to wet these tights. And let's see how I'll look in them. If I wet them, well guys, this is what it looks like wet video. My third tights. You can pay attention how they will be in wet. In some places I didn't finish because they are very difficult wet. And that's why you can see where they were wet and where they weren't. That is, it's very hard for me to wet them. In principle, I like this pattern, so if I get caught in the rain, I'll have such beautiful tights with a beautiful pattern. By the way, these tights changed color for us. They look more like some kind of green. Really. Although I think they should be turquoise. And dark turquoise. But when wet, they became more dark green. Also, I don't feel very comfortable when wet. But there is a plus, they began to stretch very well. And look when wet. They are very translucent. In principle, they dry quickly. For example, if you do it like this, then you can notice that dry. We have the last pair of tights left. These are the ones in swamp green. Let's try them on. Well guys, I tried on my last pair tights. They are this green. By the way, I don't really like this color. I don't think it suits me. I look like Fiona from Shrek in them. But I really like the material. Very comfortable material. I also really like that they are very soft. Stretch very well. Also don't itch. Nothing bothers me. Well, in principle, comfortable. Generally comfortable. Oh my god, what did I say? They also, basically it doesn't get in the way. And also in the front we have a show. Because I have such voluminous and juicy buckets. Let's see how it looks wet. Well, that's how they look wet. Look at my beautiful pattern. Looks like the uniform they wear in the army, very similar. Such speckles. Of course, it was very hard for me to get them wet too, because the material is such that it doesn't get wet well. So I got them wet where I could. By the way, behind me. Here it also turned out to be really transparent. You can notice that our color is changed. Became more so very dark. Such a dark swamp color. But if you look from afar, then it seems that it is black color. In fact, no. In terms of comfort, of course. To me, not very comfortable to be wet. Like any other tights. The tights stuck to me really badly. I got cold. So I think if you get caught in the rain, you will get very beautiful drawings. And I don't think it's raining. They can't really get that wet. Well, these are the kind of tights. By the way, I'd probably just wear them. Like leggings, for example, for a workout somewhere. To do yoga. Because they stretch really well. And that's a big plus. Well, that's my fitting. Wet vs. slipping is over. Write in the comments which ones you liked the most. Tights, and what else would you like me to take off? Did a wet versus chip test for everyone. Bye bye.